think that's why we still underestimate them. But at this stage, where it comes to the groups, they've always been good. The only time they did get eliminated from the groups was obviously the very first international event where they didn't make it, and of course, the last time at Champions. So unless history is going to repeat itself, you have to look at this team as one of the favorites to make it out.
Well, with the teams in this group...
Oh, my.
Oh, look at this early push. DJZ already in there for the early duel. They've got the recon up to reveal, and that worked perfectly. Out of there for free, and Furia are ahead. But this group is tough. Fnatic, 100 Thieves in there, as well as these teams. There is no easy way out. And for DRX, the threat of returning to that group stage defeat could be there. Already losing one in the early pistol, but there's a minute 10 left. Plenty of time for them to recover. Moving towards the B site, though, where it's very stacked up.
Yeah, they're almost still playing this bait and switch. They're just happy to basically take every single one of the duels to the offensive and even getting a pretty nasty tag off the wallbang. The remaining players are still just lurking around that short area as well, making sure that nobody can really quickly rotate back into the A site, especially with the KJ utility.
Yeah, of course, they saw 3 players. There's one unaccounted for with that recon. Whoa, no! NCR somehow ends up walking out of there with a kill. A shock dart through to further harass, and okay, a rotation from DRX. They're starting to move back, move through mid. Furia have rotated, though. They're watching it, although they've lost Khalil. And now, okay, at least a faster rotation for QCK. He is going to be on site on time, but this could be a little bit difficult for Quick to hold.
Yeah, I think they're at least going to get themselves the plant. It's just what they can do from there. Armor's already tagged low and rotation all coming in to basically play this one as a squad. Turret also going to give them a little bit of extra information as the swing comes through. And, well, unless Stax is going to get a couple more of those, it's going to be a relatively easy cleanup in the pistol round for Furia.
With that pistol under their belt, Tom, I think Furia on the defensive side here on their map pick, they get that little bit of wind in their sails. You know, that early fight as well. Perhaps
enjoy in comparison to what we've seen from him on the Jet in the past. Also, Marco had an incredible tournament over in Copenhagen, especially within the group stage. I think if you look at the stats, he was by far the best when it came to Astra gameplay. So there's definitely some huge positives here, and, well, unfortunately for Buzz, that is kind of going to be his role within this map. And especially when you don't have any weapons on the other side, you can't really expect much on the side of DRX.
Exactly the thing, right? You've got a classic. Now, they have put Quick down to just 20 HP, but was able to quite isolate that fight in time, and despite a decent amount of damage across the board, DRX don't end up taking any of the weapons out of their hands. Now, they forced reinvestment in shields, they've got a plant, but altogether, this is an incredibly strong start for Furia.
That takes up an awful lot of space and gives you so much information, which is something that DRX are already going to be swimming in with this composition.
Such a passive early round from DRX. They're baiting in a B push with players on the A site, pushing up, taking some aggressive stances in the early stages, and they wanted to catch that B main aggression. They wanted to catch DJZ doing what he did in that pistol to find the early advantage, but Furia have a different idea. They're looking elsewhere. They're stacking up towards the A side and allowing Killjoy to solo hold basically half of the map. It might not work out if DRX do decide to finish B, but right now they're a little indecisive. They don't want to just run in and give these weapons away, especially not when you're against some of these weaknesses like your Spectres. It's going to be a slow round chipping out of your opponent's map control.
And it's taken them quite a while just to gain any ground. Like, you're going to see this deep mid-push coming through from Buzz, just attempting to try and find an early battle, but with still deep main control. The KJ is set up now over on that B site, ready to try and delay as much as possible if they need it. They are only just making their way towards the market, and they've still got an awful lot of utility in the contact of the turret. In fact, they're even going to close the door on the other side just to delay them that little bit more.
Yeah, smart move. They'd already seen the turret as well. DRX are going to be blitzing out to take this fight. Already, though, NCR in with one. Quick's on the site, but now has support. He only had a Spectre to play with, but the Guardian joins him up, and now the damage is starting to swing their way, at least a little bit. Furia doing quite a bit. That shock dart not going to quite cancel the plan, but the players rushing in have, and now there's no time to get it down. What a disaster for DRX as Furia stomped them out in round number 3.
A bit of craziness.
For the upgrades that they had, you know, it still was going to be a tough round, and I think DRX did well to isolate basically the one player at a certain point. Furia just in the nick of time, though, rotating in to help out that lone Spectre and avoid having to play the retake at all. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, this is definitely DRX. I mean, they're down the Sheriffs. They've got a Marshal, but there's still potential in a round like this. They've lost their ultimate, though, using it up in the previous. And so rushing in to Quick is going to be difficult. They've got that crossfire as well. Khalil taking first contact, destroying the Prowler. That's a little awkward though. Quick's gone down.
A really nice flash. It's going to give them that opener and actually forcing a fairly fast rotate in from the remaining defenders. It's mainly because of the deep control that's there from Digizin. It's something they're going to have to try and predict throughout this match, just how far this man is willing to push all the way through of that B site. And while that early pick diminished, no gun actually retrieved either just yet, so actually making a play off this is still going to be very, very difficult. And again, Furia, after getting a pick back, they're controlled, patient.
It's got to be so frustrating to play against if you're DRX. And they waited for that play in just the previous round. They were ready. Oh, what? Stax has a chance. A small chance, but a 1v2, a rifle, 20 seconds, spike down on the other side. So yeah, he is going to call for the save in the end. Or make his way back over towards these guys. 10 seconds on the clock. This man is going for it. He hasn't got the spike. He needs the kills. And, well, the time isn't there to find them now. They're just running for the hills.
Yeah, he's just trying to do a little bit of extra damage. That's exactly what he's doing. It's a little bit close. It's a little bit.
On that one, deep breath. No pause. No pause. We'll just go straight back into it. I feel like either coach could have called for a timeout on that one and a few breaths of fresh air, but right back into it. But what I was saying was frustrating for DRX. They waited for that B main push in the buy round, and then he does it versus an eco with an op. Come on, man.
B was able to open things up in the previous round, but already gone. They are really suffering at the moment with this jet operator. Just taking space, getting their opener, and even when they're holding these defaults, it's almost off timing that's coming out from Digizin. He's not pushing at the beginning of rounds every single time. He is waiting until a mid-portion of it where there's definitely additional risk for him, but he just seems to catch a timing almost every single time.
Yeah. And the benefit will already be there for that because now DRX have that in the back of their mind for every single round that comes. They already wanted to anti-strat it, but you can just see how well Furia are handling some of these early fights. Now this walk towards the site. Flash out, doesn't even get the chance. It's messing around the corner for three. Oh, DRX are not having a good time here. That pop flash was absolutely sublime. Mako's got it all to do, 25 seconds. And you know what, Tom? It's not only the entirety of the enemy teams. They all have full health. 0 damage done. Mako is alone in this round.
They were just pushing him. They want to try and get this go. It's very disjointed from Furia, allowing him these 1v1 fights, but I feel like you're just seeing the confidence of this roster at the moment, just trying to wipe out Marco and his remaining weapon. The other players just falling back, and Digizin, of course. He's going for it. He's going to take this peak. He's good at
with Mazin having himself an RB. Could be whoever pops it first ends up getting themselves into a site or stopping the push on the other side. And DRX making their way towards this A site. There's a Killjoy here. The perfect time to pop. Lovely little no command.
Already. Buzz again looking to just lead the charge. Everybody else actually sectioned off behind him. The stun not going to connect, and it's an easy kill for Khalil. But not really getting anything from it. The rest of the team just very far behind and just allowing for these isolated duels. It'll be a single kill for Zest. They're just barely even scratching the surface of the Fury.
Zest's ultimate. That Hunter's Fury comes through, gets hit by a null command. It's gone. Snipe on its way over. Decent info. Catch one.
Of course, Digizin's already popped his dash instantly. He's just using it at the beginning of the round because of how aggressive he's been. At least being able to force him back a little bit. Now looking to try and pressure into mid. Drone trying to force him back off the angle, but Digizin is right back there again. In fact, you can see the temptation just to continue to push. He's feeling so confident in these fights that any of the ground that was initially claimed is now just being reclaimed. It's whether or not they actually check some of these close angles.
But there's players tucked in those corners, Buzz being the first. He's only caught the hand!
No.
Furious somehow get out. It looks like it's planned. Obviously, this is just some horrendous between timing and just the way things are going down. Unlucky for DRX in some of the fights. But Fury are constantly creating these opportunities, having that second player there that you can at least manage the trade out of those situations, and it's not even needed.
Buzz is also on 0 kills. Like, he's just been having a rough time. Like, I'll give him the fact that a lot of rounds he's dashing into the site, but it just seems like every duel that is put in front of him, he's just unable to connect the shots at the moment.
I'll say as well, he's not just dashing in, he's often dashing in, and then his teammates are being blocked out by some utility, by a nano swarm or something like that. So this guy is entering by himself and then being left by himself, essentially. There's 10 seconds to get in here and plant. They've killed one, but they don't know about the player on the back of the site. Now they have that information to play with. They need to take him down, though. The plant needs to come in now, and there's no time. It's done already. Another successful defender round for Furia, despite stacks.
They are just losing battles they should be winning. They got all 5 ults.
They do. Struggles for money, that's for sure, but a Blade Storm, a Vandal bought up on stacks, kept over some opportunities for sure. Already started out by losing one, so that Blade Storm deleted, and Furia, they just showed no sign of weakness. Losing one player a second to fall, but they have 3 more to take this man down, and in fact...
Where's he going? The man doesn't operate, he just runs at him with a frenzy. I feel Fury potentially combined with a Nightfall is nasty to an effect. Already Digis in again. Just look at him go. He takes the initial shot. They know he's here at this point. And I honestly, if they fell for the fact that he'd fallen back, I'd be surprised. Like, yeah, I'm updrafted, guys. No, you can see how tentative they're currently being. Just sat outside that B site. It did look like, at least initially, DRX wanted to go for something a little bit quicker into that site, but it seems like they've just been almost forced back.
Great rooting on the drone. I like that DRX waited it out, but now they've been spotted. That has gotten all of the information. Players wait out the drone, get revealed, and now what to do. I think they saw all 4 of them outside of B. Again, that one man unaccounted for being Mako. Still support his teammates from afar. The smoke has gone down on short as DRX attempt to cross out and gain mid-control. Dijazine is watching, but he's being revealed. Still waiting. The flash goes through. The shot rings out, and he makes it out with his life. Being pressured from absolutely every side. 1 for Dijazine. He's going in for 2, but Stacks will punish him at last. Still, though, look who's in the corner. Only good for 1. This is finally DRX with a head start in the round. They've gotten themselves onto a site.
As said, if you can trade that man 1 for 1, that's absolutely fine. At least he's not still surviving in the backline, causing you issues. And someone who is Marco. Finally, he's going to get the kill. But it does give Quick a chance. Both players forced into the back corner. Maybe a little bit wary. The players are still towards main. But in fact, they are both at the back of the site.
It's pretty huge as well. They had the Omen. They had the paranoia to potentially clear out this exact position. But with him gone, Quick's got it all to do. And swinging through that angle is going to have to be a 180 spin to finish off the second player. Good luck. He certainly needed it. DRX finally have gotten themselves. They got chased down. I feel like they threw everything, including ultimates, at him, and that still resulted in a 1-to-1 trade, with Stacks needing a shot through the smoke to take him down.
It's just so scary watching him roam around mid. Has been smoked off. The fact he's activated his dash makes me think he might actually be attempting to go through it, and well, they're starting to predict. Buzz on the board as well. He's had a very quiet start to this game, but they're finally starting to read that aggressive Brazilian operator player. Quick does catch Stack though, and that actually leaves this B site not as effective as you'd hope it to be, because they're only splitting through mid now. Nobody coming through B main.
With the door closed, they couldn't even punish him. The damage has been done to some of the teammates here for DRX. That being one of them, RB, though, just about survives. A sliver of health, a shock dart in to try and take him down. But it doesn't. It leaves him still on 70. He's happy and safe in that corner, and he's going to remain tucked in while his teammate plants. Here's the flash to try and initiate. Gains some space. 1 kill. The in from mid. Great shutdown from RB. And a follow-up. Little bit of damage. A tickle onto Mazin. Known to be on the site. Known to be sneaking around here somewhere. Still got a flash to clear on through. And look at Mazin. He hit behind the boxes. He blocked the flash perfectly, and the timing on the swing. I thought that was going to
back into this KJ role and did an incredible job. RB just then topped him a little later in the round.
Yeah, I think we're seeing exactly why this man was trusted with a Spectre solo hold B side in round 3. He has got the capability, keeping himself alive for just a remarkable amount of time. With push coming up, Dijazine has support, but they will concede it after being spotted and detected up that close. DRX, though, are not all waiting outside of B. It's only one player. The rest of them are again trying to steal mid out of the hands of Furia. They have not done that. Oh my, that has gone about as poorly as it could have.
Yeah, the bait and switch was wonderful. Just to hear the TP going out, and because of that, you're not expecting Quick to then swing off the back of the angle. The interplay from Furia, fantastic. And now again, a two-man disadvantage for DRX spread across the map, hoping that someone makes a mistake. But at this stage, Furia are back in their turtle shell.
Yeah, and this is where they have succeeded in closing out pretty much every single round. DRX have barely managed to put a dent in this kind of a hold. And with the 2-2 setup still in play, the knife, I'm not sure when that's online for Mazen. We must have to have that information. A smoke that's gone to the middle. This leaves them open. The one-way smoke no longer in play on short. Khalil's being tagged up on the way. In fact, no one's too healthy in this fight.
Spike down A.
At least it's good old Stacks on 13. 1 versus 4. You almost had it earlier, Tom. This time the spike's in front of him. But guess who's behind him?
Yeah, it's just not going to be happening whatsoever. Furia, again, just superb round from them. And I think that's something that has been clear when even watching fans who will be shouting at how good Furia have been. But I did not expect it to be this dominant in the first half of this match.
Yeah, this has certainly been a tangibly different series to what I expected starting it out. DRX with 3 rounds as their maximum here. That is a very low bar to set starting it out, but it could be the lifeline they need if they can find it. Again,
he gets spammed out from this position literally moments ago. I know he's already popped it, so he can actually get out of there. Never mind. He's still going to get a couple of kills. Now his teammates actually swinging alongside. Zest has done a fantastic job to at least turn the tide a little bit, but it's still going to be all left onto Stacks.
Yeah, they needed to keep contesting that to stop this res from coming through. Now there might be no choice. Players are a little bit too far away, but a quick rotation. See, if Khalil gives away his position, that's perfect, because QCK then should have the flank. That's ridiculous, though. A quick stinger kill giving an opportunity. Quick, though, has managed to sneak through. He did reposition, and he's dropped the spike. Now where do you go as RB? He hasn't got a flash left to play with, has got his nade at least. But the thing is, you can run down the clock all you want. The spike is there. You've got to go to that position. He knows it, but Quick will not win the fight. That is a much needed to your opponent's map pick, blah, blah, blah. But this performance from DRX, I don't care what map it's on, they are going to be unbelievably upset if they end up closing it out the same way that they started it. The defense about to be tested. Matt goes the first man to see an enemy. He's caught a little bit of excitement outside of the A site. He doesn't quite know how many are coming his way, though, as Dijazine leads the charge. RB wins the duel.
Yeah, they also had just a little bit of utility to be able to deny the rest of the players from actually taking the push through behind him. So, unfortunately, without that opening duel going the Brazilians' way, it's going to be almost instantly a reset. And you can see how fast the rotation was from DRX. They already had 4 players in the general vicinity of that A site. Even still, though, they haven't actually fallen back completely off of the angle just yet, still holding on for any further aggression, and almost just scoping out the rest of the map.
Waiting on this knife. Cover going down. RB not going to throw it out. It's short anyways where the push is coming through. I wonder if that false information now as they see nobody outside of A main. Well, maybe it's not going to be sold because now you've got a little bit of counter aggression from Furia being shown. These players are hearing some noise on short.
30 seconds left.
Sneaking their way in. This is crazy. Furia on a stealth push. They contacted through short. They contacted onto site. They contacted past generator. I don't know how they've gotten that much space for free, but DRX, again, they leave gaps and Furia fill them instantly.
Yeah, it's down to Stacks and Zest to try and pull off a miracle once again. Not looking likely. Never mind. 2 quick kills. Zest has somehow come out with a couple of his own. This round doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and it doesn't matter anyway, because Quick is going to pull off the Red Bull.
Don't know how Furia managed to do this, have managed to do this so consistently on this map so far, but with that pistol round under their belt, DRX will take an eco. So this is 11 rounds, basically 1 buy round away from taking it across the line.
Yeah, I can understand it, especially on the defensive side, especially when you're not running a chamber. It's like, what are you realistically going to be investing into this round, unless maybe you're Leviathan, you can pull in the stingers. Like, there's not many other teams to be able to pull something like that off. So, unfortunately, they had a stack up of players in an alright position, but they've not really been able to gain any manner of space. Afterplant already going to be coming through, and Marzin, he just loves a little bit of aggression. Already looking to try and get that ultimate online, and pushing into the smokes. All right, Citizen. Okay.
Yeah, like we said, the confidence here.
The Vandal. Yeah, it does already feel like we're heading there. Already. Majority stack up towards the B side of the map. There's still some pretty decent weaponry here for Furia. That's the thing. They still have a few rifles to play with and plenty to buy back in within the next round. In fact, Quick could even drop an operator over if they wanted to try and bring it in on the attack in the next round, and that's it. This one isn't successful, Buzz. He's had a miserable time so far in this match. Already losing the battle to Khalil. Drone, well, it gives them the information I guess they already have, but already a man down for DRX.
And at this point, I guess for Furia, the question is about to be answered as to what do DRX do in this scenario? Do they start to push up and take extra map control? They've already heard the door closed. A lot of the time, that means you're going to have your solo B player, but actually it's so DRX can push straight up and ignore the possibility of a mid-split without a lot of noise being made. They've got the perfect timing on this. Players are just now crossing up to short, and Dijazin is taken down at the bottom of the stairs. There is a small advantage for them to play with, having taken down one of the stronger players for for Furia.
Pulling them in. 30
the
seconds
timing
left.
here is going to be everything, and he manages to hold on to A long. It's an important position. RB is being wrapped on as well. Looking to come from above, but they actually going to clear out this position. That's the thing. He still sits under the mount. Has eventually been spotted in the double peak. We'll bring this back into a 2v2 with Marco going down as well. NCR even goes aggressive and manages to turn it once more. The thing is, he needs to get that plant in. Seconds remain, and looking to just try and retrieve it. He is just about going to be able to get it down, but Zest now able to reposition back through the door, looking for the push in towards the site, and he's taken a slightly more aggressive position than might be expected from Marzin, and he's not quite going to be able to win the fight. A very, very close round for Furia, and even with the damage done, it's going to make things tough for DRX.
Tom, at the end of the day, they came in here with 2 Bulldogs and a Vandal. DRX have got to be sweating.
Yeah, the fact is, you've got to judge the Spectre. Like, it's a really bad position, and if you lose this round, your economy's almost completely reset. We're still yet to see Buzz come online at all. It's someone that we highlighted as basically one of the best players within this team. He had a poor previous tournament, but it looks like that hasn't gone. Like, even going back over to the Jet, but his comfort choice of agents, it hasn't fixed the issue. On this defensive side, he needs to be putting up numbers.
100%. Yeah, we have the excuses there for the attack. But look, I have an excuse for the defense at Runway. The guy hasn't got a lot of rounds to play with. If they end up losing 1 or 2, it's already over. Mako up close. This judge hadn't been spotted. But he's going to be naded out of the corner. He still gets one before going down. A life for a life. Though, well, a happy trade for Furia, I think. They end up in a 3 versus 2, even with Khalil being incredibly low. That Hunter's Fury is trying to hunt him down. Both him and Quick just need 1 hit from it. But none land, and then Zest loses his life.
Spike planted.
He's needed again. Stacks came close earlier to having that first clutch of the tournament. Now placed into a 1v3 turn 2. One of the players desperately low. The Nightfall's going to give away his position. Down to just 1. NCR, though, I think that's through the box. Is able to close out the round. It was putting it out, catching the sound cue of exactly when he gets hit, realizing he's under, winning the duel perfectly. Even still, Furia again end up with a round, and now they're up against pistols. But he got 2. He got 2 there. So even despite some amazing early duels for DRX, they're only 1 man ahead, and they haven't managed to recover those rifles. And look who's walking right back up. Zesto gonna throw his drone out.
Enemy tag.
Oh, he knows that there's 2 players there. In fact, that's enough for the full rotation to come through. Stacks already coming in on the flank, and although there is a turret watching towards mid, I don't think it will give them quite the information they want. He's just looking to try and hold them in. Now, Buzz does still have a rifle to play with, and actually they're going to try and use the lockdown here. It's not going to section off the entirety of the site, but it should at least force the players back a little bit. Yeah, they'll buy themselves the space, but it's this early flank that then becomes a massive problem. Now, you've got the alarm bot down. It means if Quick dies, round's probably over from the flank alone. But, as they get ever closer, there's the info. Player behind. Solid to play with at least. Shock darts coming up and over. I don't think Quick... Oh, he's actually slightly out of position for those. Perfect. I wonder whether that was an expected outcome.
Either way, they've gotten themselves the plant, and now a 2v3. They win a lot of these, and they've already seen Buzz on the site, but nothing they can really do about that. Khalil is left alone, shut down, and DRX find 5. A few more to go, but it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, and then honestly, there's a part of me that thinks just having a few rounds to sort of build yourselves into the tournament a little bit. Like, and the thing is with DRX...
Didn't know Furia before this, so I'm sure Stax knows them now.
yeah. That's the thing. I never want Stax to stop trash talking, no matter what happens.
Sorry, hold on.
How
He's
fast
just
the man's going.
sprinted up with a Blade Storm. Oh, and he's caught by Buzz. There we go. He's had a tough time so far in this game, but Buzz has won the Battle of the Jets and countered out one of the best players on the server, possibly in the tournament, who had a Blade Storm in his hand. If anything, that was about to be the final round.
Again, now, especially without the Blade Storm, not a whole lot to play with. Can't see them using much of the ultimates, or more importantly, just the Hunter's Fury. I can't expect that to be thrown into this round. It's just whether they can get some space, make things a bit more costly, reduce the purchase that's going to be coming in to the next round. There is a little bit of space in towards the C side, but that's very close by to be able to help out. It almost looks like they're trying to sell a little bit of a ruse in towards A.
That definitely does. Same name for up close. A lot of noise being made here, but it is still just this man. Drone on its way to B, though. So at this point, they've made a lot of noise on both sides of the map. I'm not fully sure what the intention is here, and I don't think they are either. Just trying to create opportunities wherever they can. And they're expected. And after that shrouded step, Khalil had no chance of that going undetected with so many players around. Okay, 1 kill, but what's it going to do with 10 seconds on the clock?
10 seconds left.
All right, 2 kills. That's a little better.
He doesn't have time to plant, so it doesn't actually make that much of a difference. There's still going to be a purchase in the next round, and if anything, probably just wants to try and retrieve one of the weapons, and eventually goes down to Stax anyway, which will mean...
I think DRX could very easily reset that mantle coming into the next map already with 6 rounds on the board, and they are starting to find a little bit of a rhythm to it. Buzz, if he went out of this map with 0 kills, going to feel pretty bad. Going to have a lot of pressure in the next one, but these last couple of rounds, he's been figuring it out, and that's the defensive buff we were looking for. That was extremely close, and he's used his dash, so he kind of wants to go out and take that extra peek. Timing is decent. No one was holding it. But that dash is about to disappear, and so too will Buzz.
Very slow and controlled in this round from Furia. Still not a massive amount to play with. Hunter's Fury could potentially give them the opener, but again, we're just seeing Marco play deep within A long. He's been having quite a bit of success from this position and just placing the stars almost to try and set himself up. Digizin is just going to go past the utility, though. Almost running and gunning. The drone delayed close, so Marco's position hasn't been spotted. RB, however, has taken a nasty tag.
Oh, they might have seen Mako's barrel just there. Maybe not. That flash possibly blinded them just enough. Mako up close is good for 2! He's got the spike right at his feet. He's hunting down the Sova as well. Realizing now, though, he's in trouble. They can come from either side. He's going to duck himself into wine and hope his teammates can provide a little bit of cover, a little bit of a distraction. 20 seconds left, and that spike has to be retrieved. The onus is on NZR. He's up close. This fight could determine it all, and the attackers are the ones to win it. A quick flank from Stax, but is it quick enough? 10 seconds on the clock. The spike needs to be planted, and he's got the angle. Spike drop. Time is so low. They've got to put it down right now. It's being planted, and no denial. They have just about gotten it. The 1v1 as Buzz tries to keep DRX alive, and he'll get it on the Blade Storm. Another lifeline for DRX as they hit 7.
Well, maybe Fury is starting to sweat a little bit here. These rounds have been absurd in the match.
Recency bias now is towards DRX. These guys are warmed up. They're looking good. All of the flaws we've seen in the first half now starting to be corrected. But hold on, quick pace out of Furia. They're already on the site. Well, if they can deal with Zest, that is. 3 players coming down the alley. He's dropping off, trying to find a safe haven towards the back of the site. They're going to waterfall, but with just pistols, they don't stand too much of a chance. Good kill, but damage taken. That makes it all too easy for Mako. Quick, the last man alive, Sheriff in hand. 2 players to take down, and not quite the weaponry for it. 4
play still, though. Investment back through. Lockdown, null commands. Pretty nasty combo if they want to try and utilize it. But if anything, DRX can almost play for a retake by having that Nightfall and a Cosmic Divide online.
Here comes the drone through. It's not going to find anything. Fury, again, very aware of some of this early utility that's been going down over on the DRX side. You can see both of these teams have done their homework, whether it's the counter of DJZin's early aggression or some of these early rounds. I think even just 1 or 2 ago, we saw that Buzz play on short when his dash ran out, and they waited for it. The timing was on point for when that dash was going to disappear, expecting it to be popped at the start of the round from the short peak. Again, Buzz finds himself running away towards the back of the B side. This time, they're not on him quite as quickly, but that's because they've got this lockdown to push them all the way back.
Oh, he's actually been caught out. That was a spam through the wall that's managed to clear Buzz. He was maybe trying to stick around a little bit too long. Khalil was going to clear the site, and it is going to have to be that retake. And look at DJZin go, but he's going to be punished this time. A chance to play the 5v4, but maybe getting a little bit greedy here. And as said, there are some solid retake pieces of util to get back in here.
They've had success with those pieces of aggression before. I can understand DJZin going for it, but now the trouble, having that one less player. RB, though, makes up for it with Mazin down. An off angle for Quick, but he doesn't find the kill. Again, an opportunity for DRX to get back in here. A 4 versus 2. The jump peak! What is... Oh, no!
They almost just lost that round.
What am I watching, bro? What? Everyone was jumping. Does everyone use mouse wheel systems?
Online, and you've got a couple of Bulldogs to play with, so it's still not going to be easy, but DRX, they're weathering the storm in these rounds.
They really are. What a ridiculous conclusion to that round. Fury will look for them with pistols, with a Bulldog. And a Blade Storm. The A side they're going towards. Drone coming through. Flashes just come in over on this A side, but even after he peeks, it DJZin goes down. For Furia, they're going to have to try and deal with so many players on the way through. 3 angles being held by rifles. They've got the range supremacy. Mako, well, he is in a little bit of danger from wallbangs. Realistically, he's got some utility coming his way as well. But he's holding strong for now. And he knows main is covered by his teammates, so that's never going to be a worry.
At least 1 kill coming through, but
One enemy
not really
remaining.
anything to write home about. Again, Buzz able to shut them out. It's going to be the remaining player looking to push through onto RB. Buzz doesn't connect any of the shots.
There is, as I said earlier, the recency bias when you look at DRX and how they've been playing. Well, they've got 3 more rounds since then. Furia, they've got to be deflated. They can't even remember what victory tastes like. These players were relaxed, they were loose, they were having a good time, and now they are stressed. They're using up all of their timeouts. They've got 2 rounds to close this one out, and Buzz has found the opening. It's DJZin going down to one of his own tricks, that early aggression. Great stance to play from, and look at this. The bait out, the Vandal breaks it so the off can re-peek, and they will maintain control. The dash already activated, the window wide open for him to dash back, and he'll get this shot and out of there safely. DRX, the important thing here is their opponents don't have a ton of money. This is their best chance to close it here and now, and Furia already have a 2-man disadvantage to play with.
Yeah, and it doesn't. They've lost their 2 heroes as well. The stars of the first half are gone. Like, these were the players that were absolutely decimating DRX not so long ago. Now trying to sell a fake into this ace. Like, the problem is, it's just the ruses haven't been working at all. Like, you can see the aggression of Marco, how far he's managed to take the space. The only thing that's dangerous is if he can maybe win this duel versus RB. But even still, look at where RB is currently watching towards. I feel like there's an expectation there that there can be players in these sort of positions. That he spotted the gun barrel. It's almost free. And now you've got 20 seconds for the remaining 2 to try and walk into this site.
No, at least the 1 kill to stacks, but after that, you're giving up completely. At this point, you want to just save these weapons over to the next round. Try to bolster down your economy as best you can. This has been tough. I cannot imagine what the mental must be like for the Furia team right now. This game was... They've stalled out, and now they're left to weak shields, to guardians, to some gaps in utility. Oh.
And the ults are against them. No command on the other side. Blade Storm as well. Hunter's Fury is the only thing they have in common, and their ults are not even close to being online. It's in DRX's favor at this point, but we all know that sometimes the pressure, sometimes these rounds just slip away, but they have been in form for the last 7 or 8 rounds now. And look how tentative Fury are being. You remember the confidence of those early rounds? That has diminished. They are trying to clear every single angle they can early because of how much space they've been losing in this half.
They heard the door close on B, and we saw the rotation from Quick slow down. He was going to make it to A, stopped, watched B main, because remember, they'd closed that door and then pushed B main a little bit earlier.
Caution.
But now the decision is to go to A. They've waited it out. They've made themselves some time. These players are having to fall back to watch mid. You've only got your two-man hold on this site. Hunter's Fury through to try and grab info, and the timing is great for Dijazin, winning that fight at long last, but he might go down to the Hunter's Fury. He barely avoided it. Just about stayed alive. RB, though. He's putting up the hold. The DRX feed. A 3v3. A 3v2. RB single-handedly keeping this team alive. The ace almost at hand. The shorty's out to try it. It's stolen as this happens.
And a talkback button. I don't have a tactical pause one.
Where's the big red button? How come we get tech pauses all the time, but not here? Someone get Pansy and Hypuck in the building, god damn it. Round 25. Operator on Dijazin. He's gone for it. Looking for the early fight on mid. Now they're droning him out. He's just hearing that now, and there's not really anywhere he can go to. Oh, actually, it didn't go over the wall. It didn't get the height it needed. So he's safe. He hasn't been spotted just yet. They still don't know about the operator.
And also, because of the drone coming through B, they're now expecting him to have pushed there. The thing is, they have smoked off the cross, so realistically, he's not going to be able to do the same damage they were hoping for, and they've almost gone for the same aggression that Marco was playing off of them in the previous half. It is going to be won by Marzin. Back to his success, and more importantly, that knife is going to catch a couple of players. They know they're pushing short.
Well, that nade through as well. They're going right into Dijazin's hands, but he's only good for one. The further aggression, he thought that was the first guy, and the others were behind the nade, but no, now they're behind them, starting to make their way up and out of heaven. The flash about to come through, and Khalil's been left unchecked. They were looking at main. They didn't think about under, and they'll regret that for the rest of this round, and it's not too long. Khalil with a triple from that.
In mid and B. Is he going to dash forward?
No. He is. He's going up and in. The flash is there, and he's got two.
Maniac.
Buzz is still going. Another dash online to work with. He has the escape to play with, and he doesn't even need it. 4 for Buzz. Another phenomenal DRX round. This defense is unstoppable. Well, unless NZR has something to say about it. 3 players to take down. Buzz still lurking around, and they've got the spike on lock. I don't think you'll expect Mako to be on short either. There's just so much going against him.
He's got plenty of time. That's the one thing in his favor, and he has been a player to turn up in the late round scenarios for Furia. An attempt to try and take them through in the first OT. But instead, we've actually got RB just watching for that position. Maybe even spotting out the jump peaks at this point. And just so much time being wasted at this stage, almost needing to try and just make a move, find a battle, but with all the spots that are currently being held by DRX, as you said, it's going to be very difficult to get any sort of free fight.
30 seconds left.
The A's still possible for Buzz. He's about to get contact, but Mako swings in to close the round. Another
is insane, but also somewhat of a genius.
No, yeah. I love to see it quick. I love to see it. Now, he spammed off right at the start.
27 rounds.
He did a bit of damage. He did actually a very nice bit of damage, about 50 in there at the start. But they managed to sneak back around the corner. Now, we need to see a little bit more. I think he just spammed it up a little bit closer. But, yeah, there's way too much pressure now. That Odin's is countered out completely. The players are starting to close up in the alleyway. What can Quick really do about this? It's a tough fight to take on this, and the dash out. That causes more problems, but a good off angle for NCR. He's going to hold it on. Oh, no, he's being flashed! That was perfect timing! And RB follows up with a wall bang. This round might just be in DRX's hand. They might just have broken the curse of the attacking side that we've seen all map long. Mazen being watched.
Oh, it didn't get him. It didn't get him. The flash just a little bit too shallow. I think it was playing for if someone was a little bit deeper onto the corner, and just sitting back passive is enough. Dijazin with an operator trying to peek back in. It's just not going to be easy, so it is the charge being taken by Khalil, but you can see just how passive DRX is sitting. They're not taking any risks. They're not giving any fights. They don't care if they all go down to the spike. It's OT. It's not like the finances matter. They can just sit there and wait out this clock. They will be taking that first attacking round. There's absolutely nothing the remaining players can do about it. In fact, they don't even know what the plan was. Just pad the stats a little bit.
Good save.
Hey!
14 to 13. Now, obviously, You're going to hope that they're comfortable there, but after losing a map like this, well, let's see if it comes to that.
They're picking up the pace already, Buzz. As said, the quietest man in the server in the first half has had a huge turnaround. The aggression of Digizin, I'd love to know his first blood stats since it went back to Josh earlier. I feel like they have changed drastically since the second half began. And they're going to have to fall off of this. So much utility expended in the early stages of the round. Mazin is out of pretty much all of his utility. Paranoia used already. All of Sova's utility used as well. Like, there is basically nothing left. They gambled everything on this B push. And so far, all they've done is get shot.
55 seconds, an attack side that has struggled to find even a promise of a round, the hope of one, let alone the round itself, and now they have to do it. Disadvantages stacking up as the seconds roll. Furia with only 40 seconds on the clock, they need to make that move. The push attempted, Buzz damaged and forced back. He gets right back up onto that angle though. He's waiting, biding his time till they take contact with his teammates.
30 seconds
and that's
left.
his chance. Little info for him there as they cross over, starting to swarm into the site. Cautiously, Furia approach. They've got so many players to deal with. One-to-one trades are fantastic. They've got sight. They've got the plant. And there's no way to deny this for DRX. Still a full belt of utility for RB. It's something to play with, but a 2 versus 3.
Where's the hesitation? DRX just didn't believe they would commit back into the B side, so the other players are just so desperately far behind. I think as though a lot of their defensive round came off of these clutches. RB's just going to get a headshot in the second he throws out the nade, and well, they do keep this one going. It looked like...
So again, let's draw your eye down to that. Board on the bottom, the weapons in the hands of the players. It's an operator again, bought up by Digizin. Not going to have any shields to play with, but a worthy sacrifice for this man the majority of the time. He's been aggressive around B main. We've seen it again and again. And this time, he's pushed back. Some utility keeping him at bay as Buzz takes control of mid for DRX. Mazin down. A big blow to Furia right away. Buzz wants to spur forward. He's at least destroyed the drone, taking the info out of their hands and really neutering this B play. They've got to go right back to the site. They're boxed in and Digizin's missed the shot. A rarity and another ringing up shot with no kill on the other side. A disaster here for Furia as they lose all of their players on B. They've lost the site. The plant is in and DRX seem to have figured this one out.
Yeah, the same risks that were paying off so massively when it came to regulation have just started to fail. I think a lot of that is Buzz warming up into the series. Like, not able to connect his shots initially. Well, now he's at an impossible crossfire. It's not going to happen for Khalil. It is again.
It was a recovery of a round. Oku's right away looking to get aggressive. We saw this earlier down on mid. DRX planned their whole defensive round on that mid push. This time, DRX wanted to move up on A, but they've met a fair bit of resistance there to utility, so they're going to pull it back.
This setup at least puts quite a lot of pressure onto Stacks. Maybe just trying to put a hard read into what happened last time. Okay, they went heavy in towards that B site. Let's almost gamble that this time they'll go in the other direction, and they still have a fair amount of utility. Prowler not going to find anything, but that's just because of the deep passive hold that's currently there for Furia. There's now 4 players build in, and they throw the drone in on A just to bait out that setup.
Yeah, and you know what? They're even getting audio cues that they've baited them correctly. The door's being closed. The players backed out towards spawn. That reveal, well, it's actually drawn a couple of shots out of them. No, that's the 36. He's almost gone down, but instead he stays alive to at least grab a kill. Maybe even a little bit more. That's a solid start for DRX. Oh!
That lug play from NZR, just holding the top of mid. He manages to catch out Marco. That's a lot of the utility gone, but look at the rotation. They're already within the site. Almost a little bit confused. The spike is on the deck. It's left now to Digizin, and NZR's still rotating. He hasn't made it to the site yet, and they're just running out of time. That 1v1 not working, and NZR 15 seconds. So many players still to find. He needs an utter miracle, and there is no hope. DRX from 12-4 down. They are going to be closing this one out. There is nothing he can do. 16-14. The Koreans, they make that comeback happen.
Those building blocks in the early rounds for Furia, they made it look like an impenetrable wall, but that has come crumbling down. A map stolen from under their nose, and it was their home turf.